Have you ever taken a bite of guacamole and it's bland, and then somebody comes along and adds a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lime, and suddenly it's amazing? That right there is what made cooking very important in my life. It's not about the ingredients, it's how you can use them. Growing up, I watched a lot of cooking shows like Rachel Ray, Gordon Ramsay, and Alton Brown. Each one of them had a unique cooking style, and they found a way to make it exciting and meaningful. And that right there really stuck with me. Not only that, but my family influenced the way that I approach food. One of my grandmas grew up during the Great Depression in Oklahoma, where food was simple, resourceful, and never wasted. My other grandma grew up in Mexico City, where food was bold, vibrant, and full of flavor. Both of these very different styles of cooking really made me fall in love and helped me find my own way of cooking for myself. And then a few years ago, my brother introduced me to a chef called Joshua Weissman. And something that he always says in his videos that really sticks with me is it's not just about the ingredients, it's how you use them. And that's why I quoted that earlier. In more recent years, I've started learning from Samin Nosrat in her book Salt, Fat, Acid, and Heat, and being able to combine both of their styles together along with mine has really helped me stand out in a way. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make guacamole, but most importantly, I'm going to be showing you why the small steps play such a big role. Instead of throwing everything into a bowl, I'm going to be using a molcajete, which is a mortar and pestle, and I'm going to be showing you and explaining to you why each of these steps are going to really bring out the flavor for the guacamole. So first, I'm going to start with a lime. Squeezing it can help break down the cells of the lime, which are going to help release that flavor profile. And that's something Samin says a lot too in her book, Salt, Fat, Acid, and Heat. I like to use kosher salt because when you can see and feel it, you know how much salt you're using and you know kind of what to expect for later on. And then I'm going to add garlic. So as I'm crushing the garlic, the salt is going to act like sandpaper against the cells of the garlic wall, and it's going to help release those natural oils. And the lime juice is really going to make it flavorful and add some brightness to the flavors and oils. And that's another thing, again, you learn a lot in Samin's book. From there, I'm going to add some onion, and it's going to be the same process. You have your salt, which is going to act like sandpaper. You have your lime juice, which is going to brighten that flavor from all the oils being released as you're breaking them down. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the jalapeno. Just going to crush it and have all those oils be released. With jalapenos though, you gotta be a little careful because they can sometimes be a little too spicy when you break them down. So the most important part next is going to be the avocado. When you pick an avocado, you want it to be soft like this. You don't want it to be mushy or too firm, because then it makes it taste bitter, and no amount of salt or lime is going to save the bitterness. So I'm just going to scoop it in here real quick. And I'm only doing a small amount of avocado and everything else because you can always add more, but you can't take away. So as I'm squishing the avocado, I'm actually going to leave it a little bit chunky. And one of the things I learned about Joshua's Texture Over Taste book is that when you leave some chunkiness, it looks visually appealing to your brain, and it's going to make you a little bit more excited to eat it. Not only that, so I'm going to take a pause. I'm actually going to taste. To me, the salt and lime juice is just perfect for the amount of ingredients that I used. The salt pulls away the moisture from the avocado, and it really helps enhance the nutty flavor that avocado naturally has. And it also finds a way to balance out that earthy flavor that it can have without making it too extreme. On top of that, when you're using acid and salt, it cuts through the richness of the avocado. And at any point that you're making this, you can always stop and taste and see if you want to adjust it. One of the last things I'm going to do is add some cilantro. Just quickly mix it in there. What I love about cooking is that it brings you together. And it's not about following steps, it's about understanding what's happening. And that's something I've really taken from Joshua Weissman and Samin. And honestly, from how I grew up around food too. Today I didn't just show you how to make guacamole, I showed you how to build flavor step by step, and how salt and acid change food on a deeper level, and how a few small choices can completely transform something simple. And for me, that's what cooking is. It's not just making food, it's understanding and connecting to it.